What is up, everyone? Nick here. Welcome to the show if you're new. Thanks for coming back if you're not. If you've watched my show before, you will know I am specifically focused on fascinating companies based within the innovation disruption sphere. Companies changing the status quo and positioning themselves for the future landscape via technologies causing transformative disruption. The company of today's episode is no exception. As our world expands and continuously develops, connectivity, data implementation, and integration between systems will exponentially increase in importance. We have seen the dramatic rise of the Internet of Things, or IoT, physical objects embedded with software connecting and exchanging data with other physical objects all around us. The speed of this change is only increasing with the implementation of 5G connectivity around the world. Companies within this market have been thriving and surging in valuation as of late. This futuristic trillion-dollar market landscape is here currently, and we are now only at the beginning. The company of today's subject is uniquely positioned to benefit from this movement. We have a ton to get into in today's episode, but before we get it, check out our Patreon page. We have behind the scenes more content, under the radar stocks, and this also gains you access into our private Discord channel. This is where you can see all of my trades in real time, our portfolios, and the chat is always popping off. Make sure to always come to your own conclusions whenever allocating capital on the stock market, especially to penny stocks. Penny stocks do typically come with more reward, however, this also comes with potentially more risk. Disclaimer, this is a sponsored video. Do your own due diligence, do your own research. This is your duty as a smart investor. Gather as much information as possible before allocating any capital. Alright, ladies and gents, without further ado, let's get right into it. Alright, so here's what I'm gonna do. I'm first gonna go over who the company is, what it is exactly they do. I'm then gonna go over their business ops, what they are planning on doing, and where they see their company moving in the coming quarters. And then lastly, I'm gonna go over their analytics, statistics, balance sheet, and charting. Alright, so the company of today's subject is called DCS, Direct Communication Solutions Incorporated, trading on the CSE under ticker symbol DCSI and on the OTC, or over the counter, under ticker symbol DCSX. This company has been on absolute fire lately, surging a whopping 18.42% in yesterday's trading alone, and they're up 350% since last year. So before we get into why investors are jumping all over the stock, let's give a quick background to get you up to speed. So DCS was founded back in 2006 and are currently headquartered in California, United States. So as I was alluding to previously, this company is deeply entwined in the complex world of the Internet of Things. And this can be slightly confusing for people to understand. And this goes for business people too. And we'll get into why DCS is actually harnessing this confusion and complexity shortly. So on a simplified view, the Internet of Things is basically a connection or sharing of data systems between physical objects that wouldn't typically have an internet connection at all. These devices can then and will communicate with the network independently of human action. It's actually quite futuristic, and I personally find IoT absolutely fascinating. We are living in the future. So on a macro overview scale, DCS is harnessing the power of IoT to provide solutions for clients to improve their business efficiencies, productivity, and reliability to ultimately increase profitability. This is obviously something businesses want: increase in profits. And this is exactly why DCS is so valuable in my opinion currently. They are ahead of the curve in terms of IoT. IDC Worldwide, a research firm, estimates that the technology spending on IoT will reach around $1.2 trillion by the year 2022 with a 13.6 CAGR. Tech giant Ericsson is projecting the number of cellular IoT connections will reach 3.5 billion by the year 2023 with a CAGR of 30%. We are seeing the shift, and this is not expected to slow down anytime soon. So DCS sees IoT as being the next step in the technology lineage. We have seen smartphones move from 2G to 4G, finally to 5G currently, and they expect IoT to gain from this movement. We are really seeing Northeast Asia account for an overwhelming portion of IoT connections currently. They have really embraced this technology. Out of the 3.5 billion connections projected in 2023, 2023, Northeast Asia will account for an estimated 2.2 billion of them. Through 2018 to 2026, Business Insider Intelligence expects that companies and consumers will spend $15 trillion on IoT solutions and 64 billion IoT devices will be installed. The mammoth statistics go on, and many analysts do see a coming wave. In my investments, I like to be positioned in companies ahead of the rest. So DCS is an extremely diversified company based within IoT. They are essentially a one-stop shop for fully managed solutions that integrate the current landscape and the future landscape's most relevant technologies: IoT, 4G, cloud-based platforms, software as a service, artificial intelligence, sensor-based monitoring, and data analytics. DCS understands that the Internet of Things is inherently complex and confusing and, downright intimidating. They offer clients the ability to harness the powers of IoT by implementing and simplifying, making it much easier to deploy, less costly, and more efficient overall. DCS enables end-to-end solutions to enable technology in becoming increasingly automated and improves IoT connectivity to enhance business decisions, ultimately connecting clients to the data they need. So DCS is segmented into 4 different business divisions: MyFleet, MySensors, Web Services API, and Analytic. Let's first look at MyFleet. This is a fleet management application designed to lower the total cost of entry for clients offering telematics and fleet management solutions. This is targeting the massive mobility market currently with transportation, construction, delivery services, bus companies, municipalities, etc. Next, we have MySensors. This uses proprietary remote sensor monitoring, enabling clients to detect costly situations before they become problems nearly instantly. They also have Web Services API, which allows the rapid and clean integration of the Internet of Things applications, allowing ease of deployment and development. Finally, they have Analytic, which offers intelligent and targeted automation efficiencies. So like many nanocap companies, we can see that they are extremely diversified, which is typically what we like to see. Companies will integrate their services across many different industries and sectors to then see which is performing the strongest. They typically then reallocate assets to that division, and I do like that we are seeing that diversification in their business ops. They also have engineering services, logistics services, wireless data services, and even have a beer analytics platform to monitor and control the life cycle of the product. And the key thing here for me is that they have their technology and are finding interesting and unique ways of monetizing and generating revenue. I really do think we are just looking at the tip of the iceberg in terms of the IoT's future capabilities. I am extremely eager to see what some of these pioneering companies are able to accomplish in future quarters and years. Alright, so let's go take a look at their analytics. They're currently sitting at $2.25 Canadian, up 35 cents on the day alone, up a whopping 18.42%. If you've been paying attention to the market, you will be no stranger to the recent domination of 5G and Internet of Things companies. Investor interest has been growing steadily over the past year, with shares rising 350% in valuation. They have a massive 52-week delta with a low of only 50 cents and a high of $2.46. They are a nanocap company with a market capitalization of $30.08 million. They generated $14.5 million in revenue in the trailing 12 months. However, their cost of revenue really stole a chunk of this away at $10.5 million, something I'd like to see them mitigate in the coming quarters. They ended up with $3.9 million in gross profit, however, are not yet profitable, posting negative $1.6 million in net income. They have an extremely small float of only 6.97 million shares, so when good news is announced, shares will typically surge. However, the same can be noted of the opposite. Insiders are holding more than half of all shares at 54.03%, which typically shows that their own management believes and trusts in the future ability of the company. With the surge in share price, it's clear that investors are increasingly on board with the complex concept of the Internet of Things and how it can potentially revolutionize industry in the coming years and decades. Now, whenever looking at a company, as I always do, I look at the management. Their founder and CEO is Chris Bursey. He has over 20 years experience in the adoption of wireless tech throughout a multitude of industries. Rich Gomberg is their CFO with over 20 years financial experience in public and private sector. Eric Eric Platzek is their CTO with experience in software, cloud, IoT, and telecom. David Scobie is the team's COO with over 18 years of experience in the transportation and logistics software industry. The list really does go on. The company is in very good hands. I am really liking what I am seeing here. I don't think the full potential of the Internet of Things is fully realized or even remotely where it will be in the coming years. We are seeing the growing connectivity all around us all the time, and I really do think that the companies who are positioning themselves for this eventuality now will be the beneficiaries to this movement. This really is a fascinating company and a fascinating industry in my opinion. I will be keeping an exceptionally close eye on them in the coming quarters. Check out our Discord if you want to see all of my real-time trades. It's completely free. The chat is always popping off. It really is an awesome place. If you want more content under the radar stocks, behind the scenes, check out our Patreon page. I would really appreciate it. It really helps out the channel. Let me know your favorite penny stocks in the comments below. I am always doing research, always looking for the new up-and-comers under the radar stocks. Let me know which ones you want me to do research on. Anyways, I will see you all in the next video. Take care. Happy trading. Cheers.